Hi friends, today we're going to be making this beanie. I call it my, hopefully this up on there, okay. Call it my Margarett Beanie. I'm going to be teaching you how to make this beanie. You're going to need a 5.5mm crochet hook, scissors, yarn needle, and I am using Big Twist worsted value in the color Varsity Yellow. You're going to need almost a whole skein because it will take 3 ounces, half a skein of this. So let's get started. I am starting with a slip knot and attaching it. I'm going to chain 4, or you can do a magic loop. I prefer the chain 4. That's just how I do it. And I'm going to slip stitch to the first chain I made, and the whole thing to pull and make a circle. I'm going to work over this tail and chain 3. 1, 2, 3. So now we're going to start our stitch pattern. We're going to make a double crochet. We're going to be working around this double crochet to make our whatever. Okay, so here's where it goes. You're going to yarn over top and bottom, but I only count as I go over the bottom. So I yarn over, but 1, yarn over, 2, yarn over, 3, yarn over, 4, yarn over, 5, yarn over, 6. You pull through. And now we're going to go into our circle. We pulled through, we still have a loop on our hook. Let me move this up a little bit. Does that work? Okay, still have a loop on our hook. We're going to go right into our center and we're going to chain 3. So 1, 2, 3. But keeping that on, and once we get to the third one, we're going to slip stitch to the top. So there's our chain, then our puffy sideways stitch, and then our chain. I don't know, this is actually, there's a name for it. I don't know it. We're going to whip and make another double crochet, and this is what we're going to make our stitch in again. Remember, you can count however many. I just count the bottoms. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Makes it easier for me. Kind of wiggle it around. There we go. Kind of gonna make it look even. And now we're gonna come down and do a 1, 2, and then pull through both. So we've got 3. We're gonna do 6 total of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pull through all of them. Chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6. Pull through. I'm gonna pull some yarn. Forgive me. And now we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. We've got a 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to come back at 6. Getting ready to put my 6th one in. I guess I only really did one off camera. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I hope you guys are able to get this. I'm not really able to see really. Okay, so this is where we're going to join. I'm going to pull this tight a little bit. I'm coming down here because we're going to slip stitch up this chain because we want this still to be pulled down with this one down here. So we're going to slip stitch down here. We're not going to go into that. We're just going to slip stitch up our chain with just this one loop. Okay, so we went up. Now we're going to yarn through here, or slip stitch. 1, 2, 3. We're up to the chain. It looks all the same. So now we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. We're going to go right into the same one. We're going to make a double crochet. The same stitch as the chain 3. Well, I guess it would be, yeah. Now we're going to work our stitch. 3, 4, 5, 6, pull through. Now we're coming back into the same stitch and we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so this very next stitch right here, which is the actual like stitch we're going to double crochet into. We're going to work our second stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That. We're coming right here to this very next one. It's just our chain. There's really no stitch. It's just a hole. We're going to chain 3 here. 1, 2, 3. So now we have it encased in these little things. So we're coming to this next stitch because we're doubling in each one. So normally we would go into just this one and skip this one, but right now this whole row we're going into this one and this one. So we're going to double crochet into this one, which is doubling our stitches. 3, 4, 5, 6. And come to the same stitch and put your chain 3 and going into the very next one, which is right here. We're going to double crochet. Oops, let's go through both loops. I'm trying to trick you. How much are you paying attention? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pull through. Oh, this one's giving me a hard time. And did I make it? Let's see. I did! Okay, now we're going to come to this one and chain 3. 1, 2, 3. So here. Let me get close enough. Can you see it? Here is where we start our first one. Here is our second chain. Our first chain, our second chain as we move through. So this is 2 stitches in this one stitch. So here's going to be 2 more stitches. So 1, we'll be working our bead stitch. It's called the bead stitches. That's what it's called. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then pull all 6. Now we're coming back into the same stitch and chaining 3. 1, 2, 3. Now we're coming to the second stitch, we're going to put another double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then pull through. Now, we're not going to go and put our chain 3 in the same stitch because we have this loop and I want it to kind of make the same row up, so we're going to chain 3 here inside the non-stitch. I guess there's going to be always a hole. We're going right there. So here's our stitch. So 1 double crochet, and now we're going to bead stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, now into the same stitch we're going to chain 3 and then connect it on the third one. We're going to double crochet. We're going to continue working around this whole entire row. 5, 6. Same stitch, or nope, not the same stitch. Next stitch. This is where it gets kind of tricky because you always mix. I find occasionally I have mixed up where I need to put my stitches. So the first 4 rows are your increase rows, and those are kind of important. See, same stitch on the very first one, but not the same stitch on the second. It's the next stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. There we go. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Same stitch. Chain 3. 1, 2, 3. This very next one, we're going to also double crochet. Okay. I'm going to fold this back over so I don't work into it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I'm going through all the stitches. And now we're back to the very beginning. We're going to slip stitch to the bottom of our chain 3. We're going to just slip stitch up this chain without using this. There's no point in it right now. Okay, so now we're going to slip stitch through all the stitches and connect them. We're at round 3. So we're going to chain 3. Let me get comfortable real quick. Okay. There we go. Chain 3 and skip this stitch and work 1 double crochet into the actual stitch at the top of it. Excuse me. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Go through. Oh shoot. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Kind of pull up. There we go. Makes it easier to go through all 3. And into the next stitch, we're going to chain 3. Now we're going to double in this one. So this stitch right here is going to be a double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pull through. And in the same stitch, we're going to do our chain 3. Very next stitch, doing the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pull through. And now we're going to go into the very next stitch and do our chain 3. Okay. So this next stitch, we're just going to work to the very top of our bead stitch, whatever it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Next one. Boom, boom, boom. And we're going to double in this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And now we're going to go into the same stitch and do our chain 3. Very next stitch is going to be another double crochet. We're going to be working around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pull through. 3. Alright. So we just did our single and now we're going to have to, nope, we just did double. So now here's our single. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and through. Here's our single. Here's the next one, which is a double. Continue, single, this, well, continue along the double, single, and I'll see you in a minute. So I've got a double, or a single and a double left, so I'm just going to finish my single stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and my chain 3. And now I'm going to do my double, and then I'll be done with row 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and through. And in the same stitch, chain 3. And the very next stitch, we're just going to double crochet and do our 1, 2, 4, 6. Okay. Sorry, I got something stuck in my throat when I'm in the bedroom, so I can't just hop up and get a drink. Okay, slip stitch up your chain. Once you get to this circle, you can slip stitch through all 3. Row 4, you guessed it. one single, and this one there'll be a double. One single, a double, single, double, all the way around. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3, single, not this stitch at all. So we're going to work the top of our stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 through, and now to this very next one, chain 3, the top of our stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and just chain 3, pull through both, double, single, double. So in the first stitch we're going to chain our 3, 4, 5, 6. Sorry girls, guys, I had a crochet brain fart. I couldn't remember what I was saying for a second there. After this row, I'm going to stop and get some water. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So here's our first one in our 1, 2. Here's the first one of this stitch. Second one, because there's 2 stitches in each one of these stitches. I don't count this as a stitch. Just count it as the next row, I guess, the add-on. So come pretty even to the next row. 1, 1, 2. 1, 1, 2. 1, 1, 2. Continue this all the way around. I'm going to get some water. I'll be right back. Okay, so we have one set, a single, and an increase of double. And so we're not going to go on the first stitch. We'll always go on the second one when we're doing singles, so we can be lined up. 4, 5, 6, and through, and then the next space is going to be at chain 3. This one's going to be a single as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then a chain 3. Now we're going to be doing a double. In the same stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we're going to chain through 1, 2, 3. In this one we're going to be working our double crochet. And I'm just going to kind of push this down and open these up with my fingers. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Because I only count the bottom stitches. Now, slip stitch to join, but you're not slip stitching with this top one. Oh, I put you too close. Darn tootin'. Sorry, guys. Okay, so I'm just slip stitching to the top with this one, and you're leaving that one on the hook. Like that. So, now we are done with our increase rows, and every single row from here on out is going to be one stitch in every single stitch. So we're going to chain 3. We're going to kind of push our thing down so we can get to our second stitch. We're going to double crochet in there, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and through both, chain 3. I'm going to pull out some yarn. I'm going to show you a couple stitches, and then we'll go around this row. I'll pause you. 3, 4, 5, 6, and I'll finish up the row as you finish up the row, and we'll be crocheting people. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, chain 3, 2, 3. Okay, so if you need to, you could just pull these down a little bit, or push them up, pull them down to get to your stitch. 3, 4, 5, 6, and through, and into the very next little space, chain 3. And you're going to connect it, slip stitch on the 3rd chain. Very next space, you're going to continue working this stitch around. I think that might have been too many. I didn't count. 1, 2, 3. It feels the same. I think it's 7. Oh well. That's the best thing about it, is if you just do one little do-up too many, that's fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, continue around and meet me back here in just a jet. Okay, I'm on my last little stitch. Hold on, sorry. Let me just try to move this back and down a little. I hope that helped you guys some. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Slip stitch to the bottom, all the way up to the top. Does it really matter? I think it does. I think it does matter. We'll see. We'll do the different next. Just join right to the top of the single crochet because maybe it doesn't matter. Okay, so we're going to work 1 stitch in every single stitch of the row. Just like the previous row. You're going to want to do this all the way around, and I will come back. Okay, so I'm on my very last stitch of the row, and I'm going to work that real quick. Double crochet, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yep. Now I'm just going to try to slip stitch and see how that works. I forgot that doesn't work because I still got it from the bottom, so it has to be slip stitched down. Yeah, it worked out. Now that we've made that figured out, it has to be like that, guys. Okay, so you're going to do this around until you have a total of 7 rows. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 rows. I mean, you want 8 rows total. I'll be back when I have made 8 rows. So I'm on 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 2 more rows. Yeah, almost messed up there. So I just have one more of these stitches to go. I'm gonna tuck this under and hold my thumb. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and through. Slip stitch. Ah! Okay, so now I'm on row 8 total. It's the same thing for row 8. We're just gonna 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. We're gonna put one of these stitches in every single one around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, there we go. I'm hoping that'll help me a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Continue around and I'll be right back. So I'm just slip stitching to join. Go through. All 3. I'm going to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think it might actually be 9 rows. Hold on. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 rows. So we got one more row to go, and then I'll see you in a minute. Alright friends, here we are. Last stitch of our 9th row. And we're going to slip stitch up our chain 3 and slip stitch and join. So now, since we only increased to row 4, we're actually going to finish increasing to get to 60 stitches, because right now we don't have 60 stitches. So I don't count these as a chain. I count 1, 2, 3, 4, and I increase every 4th stitch. So let's show you how I do that. 1, 2, skip this one, 3, 4, and I'm going to increase in the 5th one. 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 3, oops, I think I should have increased right there. That's my bad. 1, 5. So I'm not working into these stitches because it would bring me with 72 stitches if I increased every single one, but I don't want 72, I just want 60. So essentially we would be doing like our 5th row of increase, just lower down. 1, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Continue around and join with a slip stitch. And I'm on my last increase of 2 double crochets into this stitch. 1, 2. Now I'm going to slip stitch and join. Let's get closer. The light's good enough for you guys. Okay, so now I'm going to chain 3. This will count as a double crochet. I'm going to pull out some of my yarn because it's giving me a hard time. And we're going to front post, back post in every stitch. Front post, double crochet, back post, double crochet. Nope, can't see. There we go. Front post, double crochet, back post, double crochet. Front post, oops, double crochet, back post, double crochet. Front post, double crochet, back post, double crochet, front post, back post. Continue around front post, back post for the duration of the row. Front post, back post, making a ribbed edging. I'll see you in a minute. Okay, so I'm finishing up my row. I'm going to end with a front post. And we're going to slip stitch to the chain, third chain of chain 3. And we're going to chain 3 and do one more row front post, back post, double crochet for a nice solid brim of the beanie. Pull out some of my yarn. I am going to be, so this is what it will look like. I'm going to continue around and I will see you in just a minute. Okay, so we have just a couple stitches left and then we are going to move on to our next row. Let's get it front post. Slip stitch to join to the chain 3. We're going to chain 1, pull tight, and in the same stitch we're going to work 1 single crochet. In the next stitch, in every stitch of the row, we're going to work 1 single crochet. Continue around, join with a slip stitch, and I'll see you in just a jiff. Alright, so now I'm just finishing off my last 2 stitches. And a slip stitch. I'm going to chain 1, pull tight, and single crochet. Now that I've done that, we're going to go into the back loop only. And work 1 single crochet in the back loop of every single stitch of the row. Oops. Pull some yarn for myself. I'm going to continue around to see you in a jiff. Okay, so we're on our last few stitches of the row. And I'm just going to slip stitch right here and join. And I'm going to cut my yarn because I am done with the hat. That's it. We're finished. You can choose, like roughly around here, you can decide if you want to take this stitch for another row and then just do single crochet brim, back loop only single crochet. So what I did with this one is I made it all the way until 8 rows, or well, that's only 9 rows, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No, this is 10 rows. So this is 10 rows, and it's 3 rows of single crochet back loop only, and then a row of crab stitch for the brim. It just all depends on what you want. And then here's the back of the hat, but it blends in pretty well. So I'm just going to finish off and weave in my ends real fast, and then you will have a finished beanie. This is what the inside of it looks like. It's even pretty on the inside. Can you guys see that? I can't see it. My phone is in a holder, so anything I am looking at, I can't really see the best. But I'm just going to weave my ends in all around this beanie. And then I'm going to tie a couple knots, because I don't make a hat without some knots. It's my safety's sake. People, you can choose not to. I just choose to. That closes up, and I'm gonna put it back through this and snip, then bring this part of the hat down. I, of course, put my hand in, no, and I'm going through the original stitches that were worked around the chain. I hope that works for you to see. And I'm just going to wind it through a couple times. I've lost it. There we go. And now I'm going to just pull kind of tight and then weave back through and tie a knot, and then come back around and down through this stitch. You see that? Down through the stitch. And kind of back up the stitch. I gotta find a way. Oops, I'm losing my. Okay, so I'm gonna go in through just this little thread to catch it, and we're gonna go right back up through the stitch. Then I'm gonna cut it. And that, my friend, just give it a good stretch. That's it. We made it. We have made my Margarett beanie. Thank you for paying this much attention to it, and thank you for liking the pattern, and thank you for requesting it, and I hope you enjoy it as much as I do. Have a great one. Bye, guys.